Welcome to this DairyNet video tutorial. This tutorial explains the alarms that can occur around the topic of milking. Under the menu item Milking, evaluations of milking alarms can be called up in the Conspicuities section. The list of milk yield alarms shows all animals for which an alarm was triggered in a certain period due to a low milk yield. To limit the milk yield alarms to be displayed, the number of milking visits, the number of alarms, as well as the date of alarm occurrence can be defined. This example shows all animals that have had at least 5 milking visits and 3 alarms in the past 3 days. In addition to the alarm date, the total milk yield of the affected milking is also listed. The milking yield alarm can be triggered for the entire milking or for individual quarters. The total milking or the quarter that has a decreasing milk yield is marked with a cross. This shows directly which quarters have a milk yield alarm. If a quarter shows a milk yield alarm, the percentage deviation of the milk production rate offers the possibility to directly analyze the milk yield deviation for the quarter and to take measures if necessary. In this example, the animal with number 2756 has 3 milk yield alarms: front left, front right, and rear left. The deviation of the milk production rate is, for example, 51.72% for the front left quarter. The deviation of the milk production rate can also be read off for the total milking. If an animal is selected, a more detailed view opens. This illustrates the milk yield development of the individual animal in a line diagram. The period shown can be defined from 5 to 180 days. The individual milk yield per quarter is displayed, as well as the milk yield of the total milking. An alarm is indicated by the red warning triangle and can be assigned to a quarter or to the total milking on a daily basis. In the mouse over field, the exact milk yield that has triggered an alarm and the deviation of the milk production rate are shown in red and can be seen. This makes it easy to observe and analyze decreasing milk yields of individual animals. The list, Conspicuous Quarter Conductivity, shows cows with a high conductivity of the milk. Next to the animal concerned, the time of the alarm and the number of alarms are listed. The udder quarter that has a high conductivity and thus a conductivity alarm is marked with a red cross. If the animal has other alarms, these are shown in the last columns. These can be alarms for milk yield, cell count, cow scout, or feed alarms. In this example, the animal with animal number 129 has a conductivity alarm at the rear left. There is also an additional indication for a cell count alarm. In order to limit the conductivity alarms to be displayed, the number of milking visits, the alarms, and the time period in this evaluation can also be defined by the user. For a more detailed view, the alarm can be clicked on, and a graph with the quarter conductivity of the individual animal will open. The conductivity value of the individual quarters can be read from the line diagram. In addition, the line diagram provides a direct overview of the conductivity development process over the last few days as deviations or spikes become directly visible. In this example, for the animal with the number 129, an increased conductivity value for the rear left quarter can be seen over the course of the last few days. With a mouse over, the quarter conductivity values can be displayed per day, and the red warning triangle symbolizes when and which quarter is affected by an increased conductivity value and has thus triggered an alarm. With the help of the arrows, the animals currently on the alarm list can be reviewed in the detailed view. For the animal with the animal number 408, a conductivity alarm was triggered on June 28, 2021. Similar to the list for the conspicuous quarter cell count, the alarms are also provided for an increased cell count. The list, Conspicuous Quarter Cell Count, is structured in the same way and shows specifically which quarter is affected by a cell count alarm and which cell count class the corresponding quarter has. In this example, The animal with number 88 has a cell count alarm for the rear right quarter. The rear right quarter is assigned to cell count class 4. In addition, the number of cell count alarms that have occurred can be read. Additional alarms, such as cow count attentions or milk yield alarms, are available for this animal and are marked in the last columns. By selecting an animal again, the cell count development of the last few days is graphically displayed on a quarter individual basis. Farm-specific evaluations of the milking data can be targeted and created by combining the self-defined animal choice and a self-created column configuration with the desired information. A new animal choice can be defined via the cattle list. To do this, Create New Column Preset has to be selected in the drop-down menu for the column preset. A new info page will pop up. At first, the name of the column preset must be defined. Subsequently, the desired selection can be dragged from all available columns, which are sorted according to subject areas, into the area of the columns to be displayed using the drag and drop function. In this example, a column preset is created to the incomplete milkings. For doing this, the columns Animal Number, Status, Days in Milk, Milking Group, 7-day average, Milk Yield last 24 hours, and Milk Visits last 24 hours have to be inserted, as well as other columns from the Analysis Milking Process area in the right-hand side of the column configurator. The order of the columns corresponds to the ladder arrangement in the list and can also be edited here. As soon as the settings are saved, the created list opens on the left side. The next step is to create an animal choice. For this purpose, a new animal choice is created by defining a name and selecting the created column preset, Incomplete Milking. The criteria for this animal choice are then determined. To do this, the plus symbol needs to be pressed and the corresponding rules need to be selected. In this example, the criteria consecutive problematic milkings is added. Once the animal choice has been saved, it can be called up and will show all animals that have shown an incomplete milking. The list is dynamic and updates automatically based on the defined rules. Due to the appropriate column specification, it can be directly analyzed and recognized in this list, which milkings were incomplete. The animal choice can be observed in the Observed Animal Choices widget in the dashboard. Within this widget, limit values can be defined so the display appears orange or red as soon as the defined number of animals has been reached in this list. In this example, the limit values of the individual color ranges are defined as follows. Yellow color, range 1 to 5 animals with incomplete milkings. Red color range, more than 5 animals with incomplete milkings. If the linked animal choice is selected in the dashboard, a direct redirection to the column preset Incomplete Milking with the animals that currently meet the criteria of the animal choice and have an incomplete milking will be triggered. The dairy milk and feed statistic refers to the daily average of the herd. This evaluation shows, among other parameters, the total daily milk yield of the herd. In addition, the technical parameters of the milking process for the entire herd are presented. This is provided on basis of totals such as number of cows, number of milkings, number of problematic milkings, and average values, such as attachment time, box time, milk flow, feed per cow, feed per 100 kilograms of milk. With the help of the daily milking and feed statistics, it is thus possible to analyze how the herd is developing in terms of milking and feeding performance, as well as the technical milking process. The columns can be sorted and filtered. This evaluation can also be limited to a selected period of 20 to 120 days. This is the end of this video tutorial. For any further questions, please contact your local dealer.